Yo, it's the 13th letter to the cipher. Back at you again on the 19th day of Black History. That's right. And I want to thank you all for showing up again and being a part of this great month, great year. In years to come, that you will see Mo back on the screen. That is right. And I want to thank you all for keeping your word in regards to your upliftment and promises and goals that you made to yourself that you will acquire in this month moving forward, Black History Month. I want to thank all of the supporters that's out there, all of those who have encouraged me to do this platform. I used to have a platform that was ferocious. It was niggardly. Yeah, I had gangster rappers and gangster rappers and gangster rappers and gangster rappers and gangster rappers, and that's what it was. Anyway, how you all doing today? Well, today is the day that I've actually decided to switch up and do some new material that I've been promising you all that's gonna open up your mind and possibly give you something to think about. I'm not gonna talk about no news and things like that. We've had enough bad news all day, okay? But I wanted to talk to Black people. I wanted to talk to Black people out here because you have Black people who say that they're Africans, and you have some Black people who say that they're not African. I mean, you have different types of Black people. We're all over the planet, which is 196,940,000 square miles. So we have the whole planet. I mean, we've been here for millions of years versus only 1,000. Some even give it 4,000 for other people. So if you Black, whether you were in South America, whether you were in Panama, whether you were in St. Thomas in the Caribbean, whether you were in Haiti, whether you were in Alcubalan, that's something I wanted to say too. From now on, from this day forward, there's some vocabulary that I want to throw out at you. And every now and then, I would throw some new vocabulary out to you, and in the hopes that you will understand that what I'm saying. Like, for example, if I say Alcubalan, Alcubalan is the original name that the inhabitants of what they call now Africa, that's what they used to call it. Okay? So when I say Alcubalan, I mean what they now call Africa. Okay? If I say Kemet, that means I'm talking about the modern day term Egypt. So I don't lose you. Okay? Egypt equals Kemet and Alcubalan equals Africa. Okay? There's another one I may throw out at you later on down the line, but I'll get to that when I get to that part in this presentation. And you have all of those, once again, who even Boricuans, aka Boricua Puerto Ricans, the real Puerto Ricans are Black. They have a city over there called Lucille, and they are Blacker than me. They just speak Spanish from when the Spaniards came over there and, you know, did their thing among us there as well. So there were, we were already at on this planet Earth, and sadly, once again, being miseducated in school. And it's a whole bunch of us, you know, and we continue to send our children to school to be miseducated. And this is what I'm going to talk about as well. Because Christopher Columbus, they say he came to America. Well, he never did come to America. Not this here America. No, the closest that Christopher Columbus ever came to this part of America was Cuba. And that was in 1492. And then let's see, I got a little note here. Let's see. In 1492, he landed in Cuba, the Bahamas, which is now known, which is also known as San Salvador. He went to Haiti, all that in 1492. In 1493, he went to the West Indies, and he went to Puerto Rico. 1498, he went to Trinidad, Venezuela, and South America. And finally, in 1504, he ended up in Panama. So he never did hit these parts. Okay, so we had some free black people already here. We all didn't come over here by slave ships. And when this slave trader, Columbus, came, he did not come here where we were at. Okay, some of us was already here and they enslaved us while we were here. They didn't bring all of us over here on the transatlantic slave trade. That's no way possible. Okay, some of us was already here, and some of those places that I just named to you, some of those places were used as slave ports and slave training stations, slave breaking stations, slave holding detention places, areas. Okay, but black people were making journey from West Alkebulan, meaning Africa. I mean, that can go from Mali, Ghana, Songhai, to East Alkebulan, which is Kemet, now Egypt. These people, black people, were actually journeying across the Ethiopian Ocean, also known as the Atlantic Ocean, journeyed to America to set up civilizations. And some of these ideas that they brought with them from Kemet and Western Alkebulan were pyramid building, were mathematics. It was religion and the political structure. And these, wow, did you just hear what I said? I'm going to repeat that again. When these black people from Kemet and from West Alkebulan here across to America, okay, the ideas and works that they did over here in America was pyramid building, mathematics, religion, okay, and a political structure, and of course, writing. That's right, writing. Okay, even Columbus himself in his own journey wrote down how he witnessed black skinned people riding along the Mississippi with gold. They were carrying gold. And this is written in his own journal, but they don't teach you that in school. You see, Columbus never came here, and many of us was here long before 1619. Okay, that's just history fact. You know, don't argue with me, argue with the facts. Okay. And anyway, they were carrying gold. In fact, you have white archaeologists even found huge limestone rocks along St. Francis River, the Lawrence River, and the Troyes River. And that, my friend, is in Quebec, Canada. Now, in these inscriptions, the archaeologists say that they were inscriptions from a Libyan people. And where is Libya at? It's in Al-Kubalan. Northern Al-Kubalan, may I add. Yes. I'm just saying. And they don't teach you this in school. And this place is really right outside upstate New York, approximately 250 miles from Albany. And how do I know? Because not only did I live in New York City, I lived upstate as well. That's how I know that. Okay. According to history, another limestone rock was found near Yucatan, Mexico. And actually, that city is named from the limestone rock that they found called Yucatan. Yucatan, Mexico. Black people have been here for over 2,500 years in this part. So they say thus far. But that's what they say. And if they say that, and we were here 2,500 years, well, we were here longer before that. These are just discoveries that they made, but I'm going to take you a whole nother place, and it's really going to blow your mind later on down in this info that I'm going to drop to you. What was I at? Yeah, about 2,500 years, they say, in this part of the earth, way before the Vikings got here, okay? Even the Caucasian archaeologist, Mr. Fels, stated that they found another stone in Davenport, Iowa, which had Kemetic inscriptions on them, along with more Libyan writings inscribed on them. And according to this professor in his book entitled America BC, he explains the inscriptions on the artifacts are actual ancient Kemetic carvings. Okay, ancient Kemetic carvings with the Djid festival on it. Okay, and the other side of this artifact had Kemetic obelisk, pyramid structures, and Alkubalanic animals. I'm just saying. Davenport stele. Davenport stele. Davenport stele is what this artifact is called. Not S-T-A-L-E, but S-T-E-L-E. Davenport stele. Stele, but it's pronounced, I pronounce it stele, but they pronounce it stele, but it's spelled S-T-E-L-E, not S-T-A-L-E. Okay? And according to Mr. Fels, this artifact was actually from the 22nd Black Dynasty of Kemet. Does anybody know what time frame the 22nd dynasty was around? Anybody? Okay. But if you don't know, it was around 943 BC through 716 BC, also known as the Bubsite dynasty. That's what I'm saying. This is info that I've been waiting to drop on you. I mean, we've been doing too many back-to-back of the same thing. So I decided to switch it up for you all. And I hope you all get something out of it as I'm getting something out of it. And soon I'm going to be having PowerPoint slides and images that you can see as I talk so that you can get a better idea or a visualization of what it is that your brother is saying here. By the way, I want to send some shots out to the general out there in Detroit. Shots out to the general and all of those Black men and women who are striving to wake our people up. Okay. What was I at? Oh, the 22nd dynasty. I get lost sometimes, you know. It was another brother. It's another brother by the name of David Imhotep. Dr. David Imhotep, and he has a book entitled "The First Americans Were Africans," who also confirms that the findings. He also confirms the findings of Professor Fell and said that the religious inscriptions, numerous and sometimes not only are similar, but are exactly identical to the Djed festival of ancient Kemet. Okay? I'm just saying. I mean, if you do your research, well, it's amazing the things that you'll find out if you research. And sadly, it will highly disappoint you in how they miseducated you, not only in public schools, but in private school as well. I know that the right wing historians hate this type of information, but it's, and if it was for no black people, there would be no other people here. I'm just saying. When you look inside of a crayon box, what's the most powerful color in the crayon box? Okay. Now, let's go to another example, then I'll get back. What's the biggest or largest amount of anything that's in space or the universe? Black matter. I'm just saying. Anyway, right. Yeah, Dr. David Imhotep. And like I said, he confirmed Professor Phil's finding in regards to this Davenport still. And the inscriptions on it, he said, describes the ceremony traces back to Kemet. To Kemet, it's actually before Kemet. It actually goes back to Nubia, okay? And Nubia is like the mother of Kemet or the sister of Kemet, however you want to put it in regards to time frame. But one thing is for sure, we are related, okay? And we all come from one people, and we've been here. And we've been here. This means that the Djed festival even predates Kemet. As I stated, Nubia is before Kemet, okay? It's Black History Month. How many of you black people knew that? That's just for starters. I mean, I'm going to give you a little bit more, and then I'm going to go about my way and and relax tonight, okay? But how many of you all knew that? I'm just saying. But this is what really going to get you. I want to take this back to 1992. In 1992, believe it or not, more white people, more Mexican people, more black people, more Chinese people. Guess what? They had discovered inside of the Kincaid Tunnel in the Grand Canyon. Guess what they found? They found these artifacts in the Grand Canyon that are ascribed to King Akhenaten, and Queen Nefertiti. Now, if you think I'm lying, you can go to the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., and look at the display for yourself. I'm just saying. Black people have been here all along. We weren't all slaves. I mean, before 1619, before the slave Atlantic trade, we were free even here. We were already here. We've been here for millions and millions of years. White right-wing didn't want you to know how powerful you were and the contributions that you made, not only to America, but to the world, to the civilization. And once you understand where the cradle of civilization is at and where people from all across the world came to be taught, which is Kemet. I'm just saying, do your history, do your history search. Do your history search. And like I said, that display can be seen at the Smithsonian Institute that's there in Washington, D.C. Um, what's here? What else did I read about that I wanted to tell you about? That's in conclusion with this. Oh, um, back in 1940s, another discovery. This was during like World War II in the 40s. More archaeologists found undisputable evidence that black people were already here. Way before Christopher Columbus. And like I said, he didn't even come see these black people that was here on this shore. He went to other places, other islands. And he really thought that he was in India because he was trying to get to India. But he did not make it to India. And he told those who were with him that don't tell the people back at home that we're not in India, but I'm just going to call these people Indians. You understand? They weren't originally called Indians when he found them, but that's a whole nother story. I'm just adding stuff in as I'm going along, okay? But in the 1940s, more white archaeologists discovered something else. And this can be seen in central Mexico. Okay. Many people think of the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, and all of that good stuff when you talk about Mexico. But in order for you to think about them, you have to first think about none other than the Olmecs. Okay? In Mexico, way before the natives were there. Okay, and they found these humongous skulls, images, statues of heads of none other than people from Africa. Have them teach you that in school. So if you got some children right now, and if you've been viewing, you can give your child a lot to go on during Black History Month. But not only that, is every day, it's just not this month. But they could sock somebody out with that year for the last 19 days. Again, like I said, after those 19 days, we're going to continue to do more things, bigger things. And I'm glad that I'm talking to you about this because some black people just thought that we were just bought here as slaves, when that is not true. We have always been here. And Columbus did not discover America, and nor did he enslave the people here that was already on North America shores. So wherever you came from, now they say that most of us come from West Africa, in Ghana, in Mali, Songhai, the Congo. That's true. There are some of us here, but there are some of us who left there and ended up on one of these islands, and some of us was already here. You understand? The thing is, stop throwing separation between yourselves because of what clan you from or what tribe you come from. That doesn't even make a difference. You are the original man. I'm just saying, and you've always been here. But getting back to the Olmecs, right? In the 40s, like I said, a white archaeologist discovered the Olmecs, these big, gigantic heads of black men that came from Africa. You see, and this was during the 40s. And they occupied North America, and they civilized the people themselves. They had a civilized society that was already in North America in 1200 BC. And believe it or not, the Olmecs are called the mother of Mexico, according to many historians. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you want to argue with me, argue with the facts, okay? Argue with the facts. And as I said, that you, black man, black woman, are and is the originators of this plane that we call planet. It's imperative. It's very imperative that we stop doing the drugs. It's very imperative that we stop doing the crime. Remember, black on black crime is what? Black on black crime is a felony. Black on black crime is a felony. So please, by all means, stop hurting your brother. Stop hurting your sister. Uplift them. Don't talk down on them. Lift them up. Lift them up. I mean, even if you may not like them, I'm just saying. But moving right along, continue with the Olmecs, right? Even one of the master teachers, like Professor Ivan Van Sertima, he even went on and said that these very same people are responsible for writing, math, arts, and sophisticated astronomy here, right here in North America, the Olmecs. Now, if you want to argue with Ivan Van Sertima, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. I'm just saying. And yes, he is one of the master teachers. Yes, he is. Anyway, America, in North America. In Mali, which is in West, you had a brother by the name of Mansa Abu Bakr II. He was a king. A king. And if you don't understand what Mansa means king or ruler. Okay. So I'm just throwing some language out there to you, some new stuff that you possibly didn't know. Okay. And he left his throne. He left his throne to explore the Ethiopian, now known as the Atlantic Ocean, to get to where? Here. And he ruled in the 14th century. So you can check that out as well, okay? And during the peak of Mali, they had more numbers than the Roman Empire. They were huge. They were huge, black man, black woman. This is Black History Month. I've been waiting to get to this. So now this is the beginning of something new for us besides the names and the inventors and things like that. But before the end of the month, I want to get the shots out to the sisters as well, because if it wasn't for the goddesses, none of us would be here. I'm just saying. If there's anything that you've liked that I've said, by all means, press the subscribe button, hit that like button, please, by all means. And I'm looking forward to bringing lots and lots and lots and lots of more material to you and for you, so that you could possibly uplift yourself and get a little more meat on your head. Sometimes people learn different ways. Sometimes people learn watching people. Sometimes people learn reading. Sometimes people learn hearing. You know, people learn different ways. So if this way works for you, great. But one thing's for sure, it's working for me, because I am doing something for the upliftment, not only for myself, but for my people as well. So whatever it is that I can do, I will do. And by the way, that video offer is still out there. Anybody who make positive music that's with a message, that's with a serious message concerning the crisis that Black people are here in America, I got you. I'm just saying, I'm waiting for somebody to drop that. I mean, I know that there's somebody out there that's got good music beside fuck you, bitch, fuck you, hoe, I wanna, you know, or bitch motherfucker. I'm sure somebody got something out there besides talking about selling drugs and big rims and shit like that, fronting. I'm just saying, you ain't got to front. Just be real. Just be real. Don't have a big car. Just don't have a big car. Have a big mind and a big car. Don't have just a big house. Have a big mind, a big car, and a big house. Or just have a big mind. Whatever suits you. But the point that I want to stress is is to get a big mind. Become a big thinker. Have that attitude and conversation that is the paragon of any and everything. That's all that I'm saying. And I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for viewing, watching, and encouraging your brother to do well. And by all means, don't drink and drive. Stay away from police. And stop doing that cocaine and heroin, Molly. Stop that shit. This is what we could do. I'm telling you, I've been telling you what we can do, okay, without all of the other shit. And that is to keep you disfocused. And as long as you stay disfocused, you will never be able to rise to the individual that you were destined to be or born to be, because you are too busy killing your destiny or that which you could become with the fucking drugs. I'm just saying. And I'm not talking about marijuana. I'm really not. I'm just, you know what I'm talking about. So it's your brother, MOSHOW, the 13th letter to the cipher. And once again, I want to thank you. And you all have an incredible night. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Peace, love, respect, and by all means, be intelligent, be respectful, and stay sucker free. 13th letter to the cipher.